Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, do you want to learn the most predictive tool there is in astrology? Well, listen up here because I have something that you're going to want to know about to know what this year and this month is going to be about for you. What I've decided to do now is to look at your Vedic sun sign, because so many people are like, where is the sun? Why aren't you talking about the sun in astrology? Because we know in Western astrology you always follow your sun sign. Well, your Vedic sun sign is different, and I'm going to give you the dates so you can't go wrong. Listen to when you were born, find your date, and that's the one you listen to. And I'm going to give you the most accurate prediction for this month of October. So listen up here for the dates that you are born in. I'm not going to say the sun sign exactly because the dates are different than Western. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the month of October. If anyone is born October 17th through November 15th, then your sun is in Libra. It's not in, like you thought, Scorpio. So your sun is in Libra, but doesn't matter. Just listen to the dates. If you're born between October 17th and November 15th, then this is a time of, well, I got to say you're a bit more argumentative. There's things and people that are coming at you this month that you feel like you've got to defend yourself more. You've got arguments ahead. Things like this are really affecting you. Why? Because we have Mercury and Mars conjunct in the sky. It's in your first house. And this makes you feel like you've got to defend, you've got to talk. A lot of fast talking to defend yourself, you want people to understand the way you think and the way you feel. And it's really hard to get the message across. And people come back with great arguments. And in the area of your relationships especially, you feel like people can't come to agreement with what you really want to honor and you believe and what you want to push. So here's the thing. You got to come to a place of peace within yourself because you're never going to get people to believe the way you do. It's not important. But what is important, that you know what you believe and you put it out there in a way that's not pushy for others to accept. And I promise you, you're going to attract more people that think like you when you put it out in a calm and non-direct way. Now, transiting Jupiter is in your 9th house. This has been a year of great transformation in terms of what you believe. You changed a lot of your belief systems. But what is coming up the end of October 18th through December 5th, your work, your career is going to start being your focus, and you're going to find that there's going to be new opportunities, amazing for work and career. So this is the time to really start looking and pushing your new ideas around the workplace, and or if you've been wanting a new job or career, it's time to change. You will be given the correct opportunities for this. Now, Rahu has been in your 5th house and Ketu's in your 11th this month. And sometimes you feel like you obsess about things, thoughts, and ideas. You've got to really take back and not be so worried about things. As I said before, don't worry about the things you can't change. Worry about the things you can change. And realize that you are definitely obsessed and compulsed with your thinking mind. Take it easy. You're over exaggerating things. They're not as bad as you think. And if you have children, they may be at this point needing more attention. So consider that. And with K2 in your 11th house, I get that you're changing your friendships. A lot of your friends just really haven't been on the same wavelength as you. It's been really a challenge. So what's happening is probably a whole group of friends are kind of dropping off the wayside for you because you don't resonate with them anymore. You don't need to argue with them anymore. You don't need to be aggressive or argumentative. And be careful because you are a little bit more accident prone this particular month. But really what I think it is, watch what you say so you don't say things you didn't mean. But going back to the friendships, it's time for you to start hanging out with a whole new group of people. The old friends are going to dissolve, but that opens the door for new friendships and people that are more like you in your uniqueness and unusual way. You're going to find a whole new group of people to hang with. If you are born November 16th through December 15th, then your sun is in Scorpio. And you might find that odd, but just listen up and find out what this month means for you. And you're going to find this is all true. Because the Mars-Mercury conjunction's in your 12th house. And that means that people from your past may come back. But there's something that you've got to learn from them. And these people that come back from your past are definitely difficult. There's something about some past karmas you're here to heal. And I'll tell you something else. It has a lot to do with the workplace. People may be talking behind your back. And you'll find that there is a lot of chatter, a lot of gossip. Don't pay any attention to it. It's not worth it. Because you know that most of them are simply envious and jealous. So it's their issue, not yours. Let it go. But I will say from the past, a lot of old hurts may return and you may feel like there's a healing that needs to evolve. So things are being unearthed and brought to the surface for you to look at from the past, the pain of old friendships and old situations and with family matters that you have to look at, because these matters are actually holding you back from your future. Once you process this old disturbing stuff, understand what it is. You will heal it, and then you will start and unravel all of the setbacks and blocks that seem to keep you from your goals and aspirations. Another thing is pay attention to your dreams if you can sleep, because I know sleeping is an issue with Mars being in your 12th house. Your dreams are confused and it seems like you're worn out when you wake up. But be aware that when you do sleep, there are messages for you to heal any unresolved issues from your past through your dreams. Now, Jupiter has been in your 8th house and will primarily be in your 8th house, but from October 18th through December 5th, Jupiter's going to be in your 9th house, which sets you out for a whole new understanding of your life. I feel like you're going to develop new beliefs, new spiritual studies, understand things that change your thoughts, your minds about the spiritual world. This is going to be awesome for you and inspiring. And what I think, Jupiter being in your 8th house for most of this year, it's really dug up a lot of transformational issues. So this has been a year of deep transformational thought. and uncovering things that have really held you back. It's a time of psychological analysis. Pretty much the whole year between now through June of 2026. But this window of time when Jupiter goes into your 9th will give you the vision to see clearly the truth. Now, Rahu has been in your 4th house, and you've been thinking a lot about moving. There's something about you looking other places to live, and or maybe you just moved and everything's kind of out of place and you feel like you've got to get order into your house. And your family, your sense of security's been a bit disturbed. There's things going on in the home that are unsettling. And I'll say this, if your mother's still around, maybe she's unsettled and maybe you need to check in with her. But I'll tell you where the real change is occurring in your career. You are not happy with your work in some way right now. There's something that needs to change with it, and it will change. You might be changing jobs. You might find that your work, your career is suddenly taken away. But it's really a blessing because you're here to find meaning and purpose with your work. That's what's the matter. Your work may pay the bills, but you need something more than that. You need a career and a job that is going to give you a sense of meaning and purpose in your life. This will make you feel whole and complete. That is what's missing, and that's where the biggest change will take place. For those of you that have your sun in Scorpio, but the birth time for this is November 16th through December 15th. If you were born December 16th through January 14th, then your sun is actually in Sagittarius. And let me tell you, until you jump to conclusions with that, what this means for you. And listen up, because this is going to ring true for you. Because you're finding that your friends, the people you hang with, are so argumentative. They cannot agree on things. They are combative in their thoughts and their ideas with you. And you wonder how you were ever friends with them to begin with, because there's just this sense of discontent with your communications with others, especially the people that you've known well for a long time, your friends, your groups. And or if you have an older sibling, you might find that you can't see eye to eye with conversations with them either. So communications are off, especially, you might have ended some friendships through some disagreements with your thoughts and the way you think. It's just the way it is. Now, Jupiter has been and is most of the year in your 7th house. 7th house is relationships. If you're in a relationship this year, mainly between now through June 1st, your relationships are coming together. They're growing together. You're working together. Things are working out. And if you want to meet somebody and you're not in a relationship, this is the year. Between, well, really, there's a window of time that happens, I'll say, from December through June, June is June of 2026. Relationships coming together, healing, and or meeting someone, and possibly even going into a business partnership. But there's this window of time between October 18th through December 5th that in the month of October, you're going to start seeing things differently because Jupiter goes into your 8th house. One thing you're going to like about this is going to bring you wealth and money. You might have a vision of how that's going to come. It may not come till next June, July, August, but you're here right now where the vision is opening and you're seeing where you can start coming into money. It might be through an inheritance, a settlement, any kind of money that's coming through other people. And it's also a time for deep introspection, psychological analysis of ourselves during that window of time of October 18th through December 5th. Now, Rahu is in your third house, and this can mean that you're learning new things. You're inspired to learn new things. The lines of communication in media are opening up for you. And you're more creative. And if you do have brothers or sisters, be aware, because even the younger ones you might have discontent with, or you're just not seeing eye to eye. There can be some distension or even a severing of the relationship, at least temporarily, during this time. And I will say this, that with Ketu being in your ninth house, your beliefs are changing. And you are studying new things that change your mind about what you believe, about your truths. And if your father's still around, you might find that he is having problems, or can be a decline in his health, or maybe there's just some big changes in his life. Maybe it's a time for retirement, but change is happening for your father if he's still around. Now, if he's not, you might find that you'll have dreams or issues around when he was alive will surface into your life to help you heal the past and make your life work. But it is a time of spiritual search during this time period. And you're getting deep within the spiritual realm of what you believe, and that will change your life. So if you were born between January 15th and February 12th, then your sun falls back into sidereal Capricorn. And for you, this is really interesting, I think, because there's so much going on with your work, with your career, your business. But be careful that there's not arguments going on in the workplace. Don't bring up things if you have a boss that can be confrontational. Otherwise, you might really regret it. And you're going to find that you feel a bit more driven about your work. You want to have meaning and purpose with your work. The 10th house is the house of our dharma, our purpose. So you're searching for that. You're seeking that. You're reading about how you can find the career that best suits your abilities. And the other thing is, people around the workplace will be argumentative. This is a configuration of arguments and contention, and it's happening in your place of work for the most part. Now, Jupiter for most of this year is in your 6th house, and this means you've become more health conscious. Yes, your whole everything is about how can I get healthier? How can I get stronger? What do I need to do? Should I eat better? Should I work out? And you're doing it. And you're going to find that people in the everyday workplace, in every day, this will be good, except there is a time frame that's different. And that time frame is October 18th through December 5th, that Jupiter will go into your 7th house. The 7th house is the house that deals with relationships. So this is going to give you a glimpse into how you can improve and make your relationships better. Because by next June, July, and August, you will be really immersed in healing of relationship. And if you're looking to get in a relationship, now is the time, and that time will prove to be remarkable with relationships. Now, this is just a glance, but by June, July, and August, you'll be there. Relationships are coming if you're not in one. Otherwise, it could be a business partnership as well. That works as well. Now, Rahu is in your 2nd house. 2nd house is money. Rahu means there can be a lot of spending, extremes with spending. And with the second house, it also deals with family. So there can be some problems within the family, getting along, getting together. Disruptions, that's what Rahu is about. But it will bring you money, but do watch your spending. Because with Rahu there, sometimes you can overspend a lot. And watch how you eat, because sometimes you can be extensive with that too as well. But K2 is in your 8th house, and this can deal with metaphysical, spiritual happenings, such as having a sense of a psychic intuition that something's going to happen. You have it the whole time this year. With K2 being in your 8th house, you're more intuitive, you're more insightful. But if you're waiting to get some money through an inheritance or a settlement, be careful, it may not come through as you expected, because this would put a damper on money through other people. But you can make it yourself during this time. That's what it's for. So if your birthday is February 13th, through March 13th, then your sun falls back into sidereal Aquarius. But just take it for that. If your birthday falls in those days, then listen up, because Mercury and Mars are in your 9th house. And this means you could be going on some trips, some sudden trips, just when you least expect it. You'll have to go somewhere and it will be fine. But you might find that some of your beliefs and your ideas that you usually were very common for you are changing. So you're having some new thoughts, new ideas, and it's probably around your strong beliefs in spirituality. This is changing. And if you're in school, you're going to find that the subjects become more passionate for you, more direct. There's something that you want to get involved with your school, with your education, with your learning. And you might find that you have an argument with a teacher or disagreement. I'd keep it to yourself. This aspect doesn't last that long, so be aware of that. Now, if your father's still alive, be aware that this is not the time to bring up a subject that you may disagree on, because it will get heated and it's not a good time to argue with these planets here. It could even, sometimes, I don't think it's going to lead to this, but it could be the threat of a possible lawsuit or something. But probably it's just arguments with other people, because with this, with Mars and Mercury in your 9th house, you feel so passionately and strongly about your beliefs. Just don't be pushing it too hard on others. So Jupiter is in your 5th house for most of this year, and that deals with incredible creative ideas. You are bombarded with new ideas, and you should take action on them. They're creative, they're good, and they're going to amount to something. And this can be even an indication that it's a good time most of this year for investing and investments. But Jupiter will go into your 6th house temporarily, and then again, this will be from October 18th till December 5th, and then again June of 2026 onward. And this means you're going to get healthier and stronger. You're going to make it a focus to watch what you eat and exercise and get healthy. And even people around your workplace become more agreeable during this time. Now, Rahu is in your 1st house, and that pretty much means this is a year of destiny and change for you. Things are changing about you, even your appearance, the way you look, the way you feel, the way you dress, the way you wear your hair. It's different. You're different. And The universe is going to send opportunities your way when you least expect it. You might be planning to go a certain way, but the universe is going to take you the way that you need to go. It's like this destiny thing that picks you up and takes you to where you need to be. But this means that K2 throughout this year and for a year's time is in your 7th house. This is problems in relationships. Your partner and you are not agreeing, and or maybe your partner is having problems. Maybe it's health, maybe it's issues with their family of origin, but your partner and you are having a difficult time. That's what I want to say. And it might be just because they're having a difficult time. Something's not right. And they're not right. They're not feeling right. It's time to see what's wrong. But they can be a bit draining because they are having issues. And this can be what's wrong with your relationship. They're playing the victim and you aren't playing along because this is a time for your individual transformation. They may not like it, but it's time for you to take care of you. And also to see if you can help in any way without being drained or changing yourself. If you're born March 14th through April 13th, then your sun falls back into sidereal Pisces. And what I see for sidereal Pisces is major inner work. The Mercury-Mars is in your 8th house, and the 8th house deals with inner psychological, deep, profound work. This is where you need to go to help change your life. See what it is that's not working and look deep within yourself. Don't play the victim and point fingers outside of yourself, because it's time for you to take responsibility and see what you've done that you can change to correct it and eliminate the issues, the blocks that are preventing you from getting where you want to go. This is the time. And another thing, you may be more interested in research in psychology and metaphysical sciences. You may go down deeply to start to try to understand what this is all about. What is life about? Why are we here? That's going to be where your thoughts take you. This is deep stuff. Your Jupiter is, for the most part, in the 4th house, but it will go into the 5th house. Now, let me just say, for the entire year, between now and till June 1st, you're thinking about moving. Maybe you have just moved, and or change up something in your home. This can mean maybe decorating, renovating, or a move, but you want something different in your home. And if your mom's still around, it's a time that you really come together, maybe have some family celebrations, yes, with your mom, things of that nature. But it's a time when you feel a deep sense of security coming from the family and the home. But there's this little window of time that I want to talk about, and that is October 18th to December 5th. And what this tells me is Jupiter's going to go into your 5th house for that window of time, and then again by next June of 2026 it will go and stay there. So you're getting a little sneak preview of what's to come by next June, July, into August. And what this is telling me is Jupiter in the 5th is you're feeling creative, you're feeling ideas that come out of nowhere, that flood your mind, and yes, you should act on them. It's a time possibly for investing or investments as well. And if you're wanting to expand your family, have children, this is the time to do it. But it's all about a new mindset, feeling good, feeling happy, having fun, opening your heart with Jupiter going into your 5th house. Now, Rahu is in your 12th and Ketu is in your 6th. Rahu in the 12th house is the uncovering of many things from your past and bringing things to completion and an end, finality of things. So all of the things that you wished you could have finished, you're going to. It's going to be a year of finishing up old projects and bringing things to completion. If you've been thinking about retiring, possibly this is the year to do it. And when I say year, I mean from this day forward to this time next year. And here's another thing about that. It's about, well, you're going to have sometimes some deep problems sleeping. Why? Because so many things are on your mind. It's hard for you to get rest and sleep. And this can be difficult because it could cause you to get sick. K2 is in your 6th house. When you're not sleeping, you lower your immune system. Find ways to relax, to sleep, as well as probably exercise more, walk in nature, do healthy things, because K2 in the 6th house can make you feel not well. And you've got to work on your health. Do everything you can to get healthy because we don't want to get sick. So that's what you have to do. So, if your birthday sits from April 14th through May 14th, then your sun goes back to sidereal Aries. Yes. And this tells me that the Mercury and Mars, they sit in your 7th house, which means this month you're experiencing disagreements with your partner. It's not the end of the world, but you are not agreeing on things. Things they do make you angry, little things, and you may feel attacked by them in some way. It's okay. This too will pass. But maybe it's time to really get out what you need to say to each other without yelling. I know when you get angry, we tend to raise our voice. That's not necessary. Be calm and be peaceful and just explain what bothers you. This can actually help open lines of communications that can really help heal the relationship. Now, Jupiter, for the most part, has been in your 3rd house and will be in your 3rd house basically this whole year, except for the window that I'm about to talk about. But Jupiter in your 3rd house means travels, connecting more with siblings if you have them, learning more, going to school, reading more, reading books. Your mind is expanding. You're communicating more. You're wanting to meet up with people. This is a time of connecting to others. This is great. But, so once again, this covers the whole year except for this window of time of October 18th through December 5th. That's where Jupiter is going to go into your 4th house. And that's where you're going to start thinking about a move or a change with your property, your land, or buying a house. It's like, I need to do something to change my surroundings. That's what you're going to be feeling in that window of time. Now, Jupiter's going to go and stay in the 4th house by next June, July, August onward into the next year. So that would be the time probably you will move, but you're going to start thinking possibly you can move in that window of time, October 18th to December 5th. But it's brief, the brief window of time. But realize whatever you conceive during that time will happen by next June, July, or August. And one last thing, if your mom's still around, you'll be connecting more with her. Maybe having some family celebrations. Yes. So Rahu is in your 11th house, and K2 is in the 5th, but Rahu in the 11th means you're meeting a lot of very influential people. This is for the next whole year, between now and next year at this time. So you will come together with new groups, new people, but some of them will be very influential and powerful. In some way, they'll be able to help you. So remember that. And another thing is, if you have an older sibling, then this is the time that maybe you guys come together, you can help each other, but there could be some disagreements or separations with them. But K2 is in your 5th house, and the 5th house deals primarily with the mind. And you've been thinking about a lot of really interesting, unusual things, maybe psychic awareness, and maybe new ideas, very creative, very unusual things. Now, if you have children, you're going to have to attend to them more, because during this time, I believe that they could need more attention, more work. So be aware of your children during this year. And the last thing is, I wouldn't do any major investing with K2 in the 5th house. Be careful, be aware. So if your birthday is from May 15th to June 14th, then your sun goes back to sidereal Taurus. Yes, this is Taurus. But let me tell you what it means before you get up in arms about it. So if your sun is in sidereal Taurus, then this means that the Mercury, Mars are in your 6th house. And this means that you're looking after your health, but it just seems like there's some confrontation or problems dealing with your health. Minor, I believe, but be careful of accidents and be careful what you say around your workplace, because people may not be in agreement with you. Don't push your agendas or your opinions around the workplace with coworkers or employees. It's not the time. And if you have pets, watch out and take care of them, because they could have accidents and things of that nature. Now, Jupiter, for the most part this whole year, will be in your 2nd house. And that means right now, but there's this window of time that I'm going to warn you about that's different. But Jupiter will be in your 2nd house primarily this whole year, especially from December on to June of 2026. December 2025 to December of December of 2025 to June of 2026. And this means money. More money comes to you. Wealth and money are yours during this time. Be open and be aware that this is your time to receive. And it's also a good time for you in terms of your family, coming together, having camaraderie, being like-minded, bringing your thoughts, your ideas to the table, and getting along. Family is good during this time for you. So in the window of time of October 18th through December 5th, this is going to be where Jupiter will go into your 3rd house. And the 3rd house deals with learning, education, opening your mind to new things, and getting together more with siblings. And you could go on a short trip, a vacation, by car probably, and maybe with a sibling. But it will go back and stay in your 3rd house by June 1st of 2026 onward. And that's where it's going to go for the 2nd half of 2026. All about learning, opening your mind, communicating more, traveling, and opening the door and being more with your siblings. This is what this is all about. This is a fun time, a creative time. But otherwise, Jupiter is in your 2nd house between now, changes October 18th, and then again December 5th through June 1st. Jupiter will be in your 2nd house, meaning this is a time for financial gains, money, and coming together with family. Now, Rahu is in your 9th house. You're really changing beliefs and philosophies in this world, a new way of thinking, and possibly going to school. This is a time when you start thinking, maybe I need more education. This will help me in the world. And if your father's still around, look out. He may be more difficult, or he could have problems. Be aware of that. But this is a time that you will be wanting to travel, open your mind to new places, see things you've never seen before, open to the unusual, learn new things, travel. So you have Rahu in the 10th and Ketu in the 4th. And with that, everything about your work is changing and opportunities are coming. Maybe your boss is starting to recognize your qualities, your gifts, or if you have your own business, it's expanding, it's growing. But this means a change in where you're living. Your house and everything is changing. So you're going to find real estate. You're just not happy with something in your home. Maybe that means you need to renovate, change things up, maybe paint, maybe just decorate differently. But you've got to change your home. Now, if your mom's still around, this can mean some problems for your mother. Look after her, make sure things are going okay for her. But the 4th house deals with your sense of security too. So you're not feeling so secure with where you're living. And maybe with your job opportunities and changes there, it will allow you to change where you're living because something's just not feeling right with where you're at. So let's go to, if your birthday is June 15th through July 16th. Then your sun falls in sidereal Gemini. And with that, your Mercury, Mars are in your 5th house. And this means that you're open to debate with others. Be careful, don't be too adamant about being right. You gotta listen to other people. Although you might feel very, very strongly that you are right during this time. And with your sun being in Gemini, you're all about communications and travel. That's what you're all about. And you want to learn more and open your mind to other things. Have fun. Go to entertaining places. Do things. If you have children, there can be an issue where you argue more with them, or they argue more. They have an argument. Don't let them get the best of you. They'll try. And when it comes to investing in investments, be cautious. You might be a little bit too excited and impulsive. Take it easy when you're investing. I'm not saying you're going to do bad, but don't be too impulsive or impatient with it. Take your time, slow down. Doesn't have to be done overnight. Now, Jupiter is in your 1st house this whole year, except for the window of time that I keep telling everyone about. So Jupiter in the 1st house means this is a year of expansion, reinventing yourself. New possibilities, opportunities are really coming your way. And when I'm talking about it being in your 1st house, it's been there, and it will leave the 1st house and go into your 2nd house. This will be October 18th through December 5th. You have the opportunity to make some amazing money. Money is coming your way. Let me just tell you, great wealth. And here's another thing. With this great wealth, I feel like you're going to have so many advantages and new things that you're starting up that are going to be a success. Right? But this is just that time, October 18th to December 5th. Then again, Jupiter will go back to this placement June 1st onward for the rest of the year of 2026. And this means another time where the excitement of the financial gains and money started will pick up again and explode into something big. But with Jupiter being in the first house, that will be basically from December 5th to June 1st, December 5th of 2025 to June 1st of 2026. And this is just a time of expanding who you are, changing who you are, and new opportunities are coming your way. Now, K2 being in your third house, there may be some disruption from siblings, if you have any siblings, or maybe they need your help. There's something of a loss for siblings. Maybe they're having a hard time, or maybe it's just the way you communicate or get along with them. But K2 in the third means you have new ideas. You're opening up to a new way of thinking and actually communicating with people, learning new and different, unusual things. That's what this is all about. And going to new places, unusual places with K2 in the third. But your mind's opening up to the odd, the unusual, and the eclectic. So if you're born July 17th through August 16th, then this means your sun is in sidereal Cancer. And with Cancer, this means that the Mercury and Mars are in your fourth house this month. And that means fighting, discontent, problems happening in the home. And maybe it also means that things are being torn up in your house. Maybe you're renovating and or you're moving, but things aren't settled within the home. And if your mother's still around, I wouldn't suggest picking a fight with her, an argument, because it can blow up and get very nasty. Just keep your peace in the home. And or maybe it's time to redecorate or reorganize things within the house. Now Jupiter is in your 12th house basically this entire year. And with that, it means that there's a lot of closure to things. Things are being brought to an end. And you're going to find that you sleep better. There's a healing going on with any of your past. The things that used to bother you so much about your past, the people, the issues, all of a sudden become no big deal. Let it go. It's not a problem. You'll see that this is how you're going to start feeling. And your sleep patterns are better. You feel more rested, therefore you feel healthier. That's a great thing. But there's a little window of time that changes. And that is when Jupiter goes into Cancer, which will be between October 18th to December 5th. This means it's in your first house for that window of time. And this means new developments for new things, new opportunities, setting out for new changes. Your world is changing dramatically. And Jupiter will go back to that position and stay there June 1st of 2026. So that is the new beginnings after you've finished and brought so many old issues to an end and completion. In other words, you've unleashed all the blocks that your past and emotional issues have caused. And you're free, and you're going to experience a new life. This is so wonderful. So you have Rahu in the 8th and K2 in the 2nd. And with Rahu in the 8th, it means that you will have money coming to you through other people. And your partner may make a lot more money. And that way you can relax and not have to be the one who is the breadwinner. But K2 in the 2nd house, I do want you to be more cautious about your spending, because with K2 in the 2nd house, there can be a depletion of your finances, of your money. And another thing is that there can be some kind of loss or dysfunction in the family during this time, because the 2nd house deals with family. But maybe some things will be brought up that you can recognize and better understand. Some of the subconscious issues that are kept within you from childhood experiences during this time. Things will bubble up, come up, and with that, you'll realize how you've been blocking yourself in the area of making money through some kind of subconscious fears. But with Rahu in the 8th house, you're gonna be just fine on the financial side, and your partnerships make more money. Money comes to you through others. So if you are born August 17th through September 16th, then you have your sun in sidereal Leo. And with this, you're going to find that you are wanting and needing to communicate more with people. There's something about communications and your communication skills that get out there and are stronger than ever. Everything to do with the media, everything to do with social media. You're stronger and you're being sort of like pushed to do things. You have more ambition and drive during this time. Just make sure you're not argumentative, because Mars can cause you to not be so calm and peaceful in expressing yourself. So be careful about arguments or contention within your communications. And if you have a brother or sister, be aware that this might be the time that you're in disagreement more. Just stay clear. This is only here for a month. And the other thing is, you might find that sporadically you're going on a trip, that you might have to hop in the car and go somewhere, and or maybe you're spending more time in the car, commuting, going places. But this is a time you can learn a lot more about new things, new subjects that expand your awareness and make your life even easier. Now, Jupiter has been in your 11th house, and it will continue to be in your 11th house pretty much for the year, between now and June 1st. So Jupiter in the 11th house means you've been making new friends, there's new associates. You're having more social events to go to than usual. And this is where the new friendships form. And this is also a way that possibly you can meet new people, even a new relationship, based on the fact that new people are coming into your life all around. And some of them will be of influence and of great help to you. Now, if you have an older sibling, then they'll be of a great help to you and bring you opportunities. And people do that. The new friends, the new groups, the new organizations bring you great opportunities. But I will say there is this window of time that it changes, and that is October 18th through December 5th. With that, we have Jupiter is going to be going into your 12th house. And while it's in your 12th house, this is where you feel more at peace. You feel calmer. You feel like you are changing a lot of things in your life from the past. A lot of the things that bothered you in the past, you're able to get over. You're okay with. You've healed it. And this means you're able to bring a lot of things to completion and closure that used to bother you in a very harsh way. So this is a time of healing, and you'll feel better, healthier. It's also a time that you will sleep better. Now, starting next June onward, June, July, August, Jupiter will return to this position, and therefore all of what I just said will return for you. The healing of the past, the healing and bringing things to closure and an end, sleeping better, being more rested, being more at peace in your life. Now, Rahu is in your 7th house while Ketu is in the 1st. And this can mean that your partnerships, whether they are your marriage partner or just your partner, and that can even go for business, people that you have one-on-one contracts with, can be more difficult, more demanding, more just excessive in so many ways. Maybe your spouse, if you're married, is more excessive. This can also, though, bring people into your life But they will be excessive and they will be a little bit over the top. So watch who you bring into your life. Make sure that they're good for you in terms of relationships. I'm not saying they're bad, but they will be extreme. And that can be actually quite nice sometimes. Fun and exciting and new people coming into your life. But your partners will be more difficult and they will take up more of your time and be more self-centered, more about them, because this takes away from your sense of well-being, because K2's in your first house, meaning you feel more insecure, meaning you don't feel connected to the world in essence. You have one foot in and one foot out of this world. You really want to kind of be by yourself more. And here you've got a demanding partner. But if you're not in a relationship, then this is your time to be more with yourself, to develop who you really are. And this actually means more on a spiritual level. This is where your philosophies, your thoughts, who you are, what gives your life meaning, this will be what you're thinking about for the most part. So that's what I see with K2 in the first. All right. If you were born September 17th through October 17th, then your sun falls into sidereal Virgo. But before you say that's not me, let me tell you what you're going to be experiencing, because it is. So the sun in Virgo, the Mars and Mercury transiting are in your second house. This is the house of the voice. Be careful what you're saying. You may not realize that you're being more contentious and argumentative with what you're saying and how you say it. But you have the need to really express yourself. Just tone it down. You'll be fine. Mars and Mercury in the second house also gives you new ideas for making money. But be careful of being too compulsive with the spending. But you have new ideas for business work. And you're really communicating with other people in a very direct fashion. Just don't be too overbearing and most of all conflicting with others. Be in agreement. Find your likenesses, not your dislike, what you're not like with. Find how you're alike and communicate and relate to people. This will help you out tremendously this entire month. Now Jupiter is in your 10th house this whole year, except for this little window I'm going to talk about. But for the most part, Jupiter's been in your 10th house. And basically will be there all the way till June 1st. And what this means is career opportunities and expansion with your work. Major expansion and good things are happening. Another thing is you might start your own business during this time. If not, you're going to have advancement and or get a better job opportunity. It's all about expansion with work. But there's a little window of time that things are going to change and you're going to have a new vision, and that will be October 18th through December 5th. And that's going to be when Jupiter touches foot into your 11th house during that time, meaning you're going to meet all sorts of new people, new friends, new associates. And this can even bring in new relationships during this time because you're in a whole different crowd of people. And new friends and people will bring you great opportunities and money. Another thing is this Jupiter will return to this position by June 1st of 2026, staying there for the rest of that year pretty much. And so this brings you expansion in wealth, new friends, new associates, and relationships. It's a time of opportunity for you. So Rahu is in your 6th house while K2 is in your 12th house. Rahu in the 6th makes you really strive for health, getting healthy. And you have a robust immune system during this time. You're robust, you're healthy, you're strong. And you want to get stronger. Just don't overdo it too much. And in the workplace, don't be too overbearing with other people. And if you have a pet, be watchful of them. They need to be looked after, not darting out the house or, getting in danger. Just be watchful of your pets during this time. Now, this throws K2 in your 12th house. And yes, I know you're having more issues with sleep than normal. It's hard to get to sleep. It's hard to stay asleep. Your sleep is disturbed. But all at the same time, a lot of things from your past are bubbling up for you to recognize, look at, and heal. This is a time of deep healing. And last but not least, your psychic abilities are profound. Listen to your gut knowing and your intuition, because it's dead on. And this can even mean that sometimes your dreams can be very prophetic during this time as well. So that covers your time for October and moving onward. This covers all of the Vedic sidereal sun signs. And the way that you know where your sidereal sun is, the sun is your life force, but by your birth date. Check those time frames. I will post them so you will know what your sun sign is and what you need to listen to find the predictions for particularly this month of October and onward throughout this incredible year to come. Thank you for watching. If you would like to learn more about me, go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And if you want to join my spiritual community of people, join my Patreon. Check it out on my website, galacticcenter.org. And while you're there, check out everything else I have offered. My Galactic Planner. If you're not getting that, then you're missing out, because it does all the work for you. Everything that I just talked about will be on the planner for you. It takes your individual birth chart and gives you all the transits for the year. What could be better than that? So go to galacticplanner.com, and if you would like to learn astrology with me, I have the most amazing school and university. Join my school, become my student. Go to universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.